Hi everyone, I'm here to teach you all about Kelly Grucelski, and in this presentation I want to talk to you about my surface culture and my deep culture. So first take a look at the pictures I have here. What can you notice about me by looking at these pictures? Maybe you're already getting some clues about things that are important to me and things that make me who I am. Hi, I'm Kelly Grucelski. I will teach you about my surface culture and my deep culture. Let's remember the cultural iceberg. They say about 10% of our culture is open to the outside world. People can tell by looking at us or listening to us about 10% of what we're like. But look at all this underneath. Researchers say that about 90% of our culture and our personality and what makes us who we are isn't visible just to anyone. You really have to get to know someone to get to know these deep culture pieces. In this presentation, I will teach you a bit about my surface culture and also about my deep culture. Surface culture language. In my family, we speak English. My dad's parents spoke Polish, but they wanted their kids to be American, so they didn't teach my dad Polish. My grandparents got made fun of for speaking the Polish language. Here's the Polish flag. Polish is from a country called Poland. Poland is in Europe. Poland is next to Germany. It's close to Austria, the Czech Republic. It's close to the ocean. And my ancestors on my dad's side are all from Poland. So I'm half Polish because my dad was Polish. My mom's family actually came from the same region, from a country called Slovenia, and also from England. So I have a lot of history in my family from what we call Central Europe. It's a region in the middle of Europe. Also, we're American. My grandparents knew Polish, but they didn't want to teach it to my dad. So my dad doesn't know much Polish besides how to say like, hi, how are you? He was taught English, and my mom was taught English too, and so then I grew up teaching English. And I am American. I was born in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I am an American citizen. Surface culture holidays. 4th of July, we eat hot dogs and watermelon. We watch fireworks and light sparklers. Now, 2020 was a sad year for 4th of July because many celebrations were canceled due to COVID. So this 4th of July felt like a big bummer. But hopefully, we'll have some other holidays to celebrate, such as Christmas. In my family, we open presents at night on December 24th. On December 25th, we go to church in the morning, and then we eat a big meal at night. Usually we have a Christmas tree. My dad lights a fire. That's the only day the whole year that he lights a fire. And we usually hang stockings, and we get some really nice little presents in there, like gift cards or fun little things for our phones. So I always love opening the presents on Christmas Eve, December 24th. Finally, Halloween. We carve pumpkins and put candles inside. We go trick-or-treating and get candy until our bag is too heavy to carry. I was always that kid going around with a pillowcase, like carrying it over my shoulder, because I love candy and would go pretty wild on Halloween, getting as much candy as I could carry. Surface culture food. Roast turkey. For Thanksgiving, my mom cooks a huge turkey. It takes all day for it to cook. We save the leftovers, and my mom makes a special turkey and gravy meal on Black Friday. I can't wait to have that. That's coming up. Here's a picture of our turkey. Here's a picture of something called petitza bread. The name is petitza. Petitza bread. For Christmas, my family eats petitza bread. It's a sweet bread from Slovenia made with walnuts and sugar. We buy it from a company in South Carolina, and they ship it to us in the mail. We eat it for breakfast before we go to church on Christmas Day. So I mentioned my mom's family was from a country called Slovenia, which is close to Poland, and this is a very typical holiday bread. So one way we acknowledge our ancestors is to have their special bread on Christmas. Surface culture sports. Yoga. Namaste. I have been practicing yoga for 18 years. I have learned how to be a yoga teacher and spent a month volunteering at a yoga camp in New York State. I'm really into yoga, love yoga. Also, football. I root for the Green Bay Packers. My family is from Wisconsin, so Packers are our favorite team. Now I'm going to talk about our deep culture. Deep culture is really different because it's things you cannot tell just by looking at me or getting to know me for a few minutes. Deep culture is things that you get to know about someone by being around them for a while and really having conversations that can show you who they are and what their deeper beliefs are. So, deep culture manners. In my family, my mom is very strict about manners. She taught me to say please and thank you and to wait my turn when someone is talking. Interrupting people when they are speaking is considered very rude in my family. Here's a poster of all the good manners I was taught when I was a kid. One manner that my family didn't teach me is to wait for others to have their food before I start eating. I accidentally learned that manner when I accidentally offended someone by eating before they had their own food. So here's a picture of what I probably looked like eating my food, and then other people did not have their food yet, and that was very rude. But I didn't know that, so I had to learn from some other people. Communication. In my family, we are indirect communicators. That means instead of saying what we want, we usually give hints. For example, instead of saying, I'd like a new iPad for Christmas, we would say, my iPad is really old and it's not working good. I wish it worked better. And hope that the listener would pick up on our clues that we want a new iPad. We call that indirect. A direct person would say, like, I want a new iPad for Christmas. Or, let's go shopping for a new iPad. My family would say, oh, did you see there's a sale for iPads? Maybe we should go look at them. See how it's kind of indirect? It's not like to the point. We have to be kind of soft with how we say it. That's very typical in my family. Deep culture, personal space. In my family, we do not hug each other often. We only hug when we see each other after a long time. My family gives a lot of personal space, and we stand at least 2 feet away from strangers when we meet them. So obviously nowadays everyone is trying to do social distance, but my family's been doing that for years. We really don't get close to each other. When I visited them this summer, they only gave me a hug when I got on the airplane to go home. So they really like to have a lot of personal space. That's why I don't really hug that many people. So with COVID not being able to hug people, it doesn't bother me too much because I'm used to that. Other people, they really miss hugging because that's part of their deep culture. Privacy is very important in our house. For example, I have to knock on my brother's door before coming in his room or he gets very mad. This is my brother. No girls allowed. Very mad. Last slide. Deep culture, religion, beliefs. As a child, I was raised Catholic. This is a picture of my actual church in Ann Arbor, Michigan. When I was a kid and when I go home for Christmas and Easter, this is exactly where I go. It's called St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church. My family and I went to church regularly on Sundays, and I went to church school every Wednesday night. I was baptized, had First Communion, and was confirmed in the Catholic Church inside this church. So that's important to me that you know that I was raised Catholic. So Catholic is a type of Christian. Thank you for listening. Questions? Well, I'm sure you have lots of questions and we can address those when we see each other next time. Thank you for listening to my screencast all about Miss Grucelski. Have a great day.